You already know this bit, but sometime in the 2020s, two geeks from across social media formed an alliance to bring you geek news from across the Nostalgiaverse. They are Jacob's Toys and SuperSorrell. Together, they have been bringing you the weekly live show, Geek Week in Review, every Sunday. But sometimes, something takes place during the week that requires their full attention. No schedule and no time slot, just an impromptu live stream. Welcome to Geek Week Plus, the bonus show.
Hello. Hello.
That voiceover always makes me laugh on the Geek Week Plus one. I can't help it. I know you already know this, but
It's not the third member of the team. Hello. Hello. Geek Week Plus. We were only here last night, so hey, we're doing it every night now. Yes, this is the bonus show. So for anyone watching, do join in the comments. Doesn't matter where you're watching, as long as you're commenting, we'll do our best to kind of bring all the comments together, bring them up on screen and all the rest of it, and keep the conversation going. If you're watching us on catch up, then obviously in the chat, put the hashtag.
Oh, hashtag catch up crew.
I'm Jacob's Toys. Of course, is the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell, and this is Geek Week Plus, our bonus show. And the reason we're going out live tonight is because there's been a few reveals.
Yeah.
So we had our normal show yesterday, and talked about Star Wars. And then today, the Marvel Legends team went out, on the Hasbro Marvel Legends team went out and dropped a whole bunch of figures for us. So we're here to talk about it. We are here to talk about it.
I love that. I know. Were I obviously drunk in last night's show?
No.
No? Okay, that's all right then.
No.
I haven't watched it back yet. I've been busy today. I was going to watch it back. In fact, I woke up this morning. I thought, oh my god, because I was gone last night. When we were recording, I was out of it.
It's the bit where you ran around with your top off. That's the bit that kind of got me. But I mean, no, you were fine. You were fine. But it was Father's Day, so you know.
We did. We went out to the to our local Indian restaurant, and it's a bring your own beer thing, which is dangerous. That's worse because like there's no limit. Then is there? You take like my mum went to thing and bought me and my dad a 6-pack of Budweiser each. I necked all 6 in like 30 minutes. I was absolutely off my trolley. I was, and my mum's like, take him home, Lynn. I'm like, okay. I'm sat there in car going, I've got a podcast in like 2 hours.
You were fine. If you hadn't even said that you had been out, I don't think I would have even noticed, to be fair. Wouldn't have even noticed. But yeah, today we've had quite a few things revealed, haven't we?
We have. But first things first, one thing that we never say, but I think we should start saying is if you are enjoying the stream, guys, let us know in the comments, and please do drop a like on this video wherever you're watching, whether it's on my channel or on Jacob's channel. We go out across multiple platforms. Make sure you smash that like button and telling people that you are enjoying the stream, as it does all help. It does all help get the word out there about the Geek Week.
Yes, we're so into this. We were at episode 156 yesterday.
Yeah.
And we've probably done 20 Geek Week Plus episodes easy. Yeah. You know, we're just kind of in routine, so we don't really self-promote that much. So yeah.
No, we just get on with it. But yeah, it's
just like and all that kind of YouTubey, Instagrammy, Facebooky stuff. Like, you know, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we will get on to Marvel Legends in a minute because they had a big stream today at 4 o'clock our time, 11 o'clock their time, I think it was. We will get onto that in a minute, but I think there was a couple of other drops, weren't there, today?
Yeah, so at the moment, NECA are going through the Walmart kind of collector's con thing again. And we did have a big bunch of these Ben Cooper figures revealed a little while ago, but they've dropped 2 exclusives because we did say, didn't we, when it went live, there was a couple of notable emissions from that wave. The vampire and the witch being 2 of them. So we are getting them as exclusives, which I'm not mad at.
No, not at all. What's
sorry,
the pumpkin treat box? I get that. Is that a paper bag with the witch?
Yeah, the other girl's she's got a trick or treat paper bag. NECA have used that before with the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, like trick or treater kids. The 3 of the skull, the witch, and the pumpkin. They have used it with them before. So it is something they have used a couple of times. They're not bad. I'm not a fan of the paper bag. But the little pail will be good. It'll be a good accessory to have.
Yeah, they're cool
But,
figures. I like these. I really like these.
I really like them, but the thing is, in America, you can go out to the stores and pick these up individually. So, like, you can just pick like Frankenstein, you know, or the Gillman or Wolfman, or whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't like over in the UK. Our online retailers are only shipping them as hard cases.
Yeah.
So you have to buy the whole wave at 140 quid. And I'm like, I don't want the whole wave.
No.
I don't want every single one of them because I've got no room for them. What am I going to do with like 10 kids? You know what I mean? It's like, but I would like the vampire, the Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. I'd like the three sort of main Universal monsters.
I can see these though on your shelf with what's his name from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, there is a place for them. I just don't want all 10 of them.
No. I mean, it's I hope they don't oversaturate these. Like they're not for me. I'm not going to be picking these up, but I absolutely adore them just because I remember the masks. I remember that kind of style of Halloween. Like it's a real nostalgia kick. And I think if I saw these at a convention or I saw them on the shelf, then it would be kind of difficult for me to pass them. But I'm not going to pre-order them because they're not my thing. But I absolutely love them. And I hope they don't oversaturate it. I hope we don't get so many of them. I hope they just kind of release them and they become not limited as such, but they become quite exclusive.
Yeah. No, I get you. And I get that. I do think there is another wave that is going to be coming of them. I really do, because they are still missing like the Mummy and a couple of others still missing. So I've got a feeling we will see a couple more of these. Yeah, probably. We've had the Walmart exclusives. It might not be a full wave, but I can see them doing like a Target exclusive for the Mummy, or like doing one or two here and there and just dropping them in.
Do you know what I think? The trick they missed with these though, and I don't know whether these costumes are the clothing that these guys are in is relevant, but for me, when I was a kid, I'd get the vampire mask and then I'd have a really naff vampire costume that like my parents would put together or something. And I really wish that they had come in those. I wish it was like they looked like homemade costumes with the mask, because that would hit harder in the nostalgia aspect for me.
Yeah, it's because they're using the traditional Ben Cooper T-shirt that sort of came. It was like a vinyl T-shirt, cloth, that thing that went over the top of your shirt, wasn't it, or something that came? Like, it was like a bin bag liner, wasn't it?
They were rubbish. They were rubbish. But I would just like to see a couple of them, even if they had them as like these T-shirts as like an accessory in the box.
That's what I was going to say. I was surprised that this didn't come with like you got like two figures in a box, and then all the masks were separate, so you could clip the masks on and off and like change the T-shirt part, like slide it over the top. Because it is if you wanted to, technically that T-shirt will come off of them, because it is these are from they're called the the NECA retro cloth range. So it's the cloth goods. So those little T-shirts will come off technically. Yeah. Same with the let's see if I can grab it from here. I can. So I've got these ones here. These are the ones from Season of the Witch that they released. I'm guessing these are going to be very similar and same sort of scale. I'm guessing it's going to be the same body, more or less. But yeah, these are they just zip up at the back. There's just like a little Velcro bit there, and these are just all cloth goods. So I'm guessing these are going to be identical. I'm guessing it's going to be the same body. To be fair, it's going to be because they've got the body for the girl one, which is the witch, and then the two boy characters share this body. So it's going to be the same thing, and it's going to be the same ones.
They are cool though. I do like them. I'm a fan. And it's quite cool that they've done them.
Have you seen this that I've made yet? I'm not sure if you've seen my videos with it, but I do have to share right quick.
I have seen it.
You've seen it. I'm a little Pennywise Chucky crossover.
It's just what cracked me up about that is that it looked like so many people's like Halloween costume when you saw the kid dressed up as Pennywise. I was like, that's so the head fits remarkably well on the Chucky body.
I love the fact that he's carrying the modern Chucky as like a plushie. He's like carrying the other one with him. I think that's brilliant. I love that. It tickles me every time.
No, it's very cool. It is very cool. But yeah, no, they're cool. They're cool figures. I'm excited to see them in people's action figure photography. I think is where they're really going to shine. People like Plastic Snaps. I can imagine he'll be picking them up. Simon, and doing some amazing. He does some good NECA horror toy photography. So I can imagine he'll pick these up, and we'll see some really funny kind of crossovers and setups and stuff like that. So I just think they missed the trick with it being a mask that you could take off and then have them on other characters. Like, I'd love to see like a Deadpool with one of those masks or something, you know, like it's. But then you're crossing brands, aren't you? So
yeah, Necker haven't got a Marvel license; they won't be able to do it.
Or even Chucky, like, you know, or something like that. I don't know, just any of
that will come. I think that will come. I really do. Yeah, there'll be a wave of the modern ones. You'll get Michael, Jason, Chucky. You'll get the standard modern monsters, you know, if you will.
Yeah,
because they've already got the license for them. Why wouldn't they quickly push that together with it? Again, they're going to use that same kid's body, and they just need a mask.
Yeah,
it would be so easy to sculpt.
Yeah, I reckon it's coming. But yeah, and then other than that, we had a Marvel Legends stream, didn't we?
We did.
Very surprising, very surprising stream. They kind of set expectations. A lot of people thought that it was going to be Deadpool Wolverine stuff because a lot of the other, you know, Funko Hot Toys, like they're all pushing out their Deadpool Wolverine merch. But I think it was Dan on the team did a tweet saying, you know, just to set expectations, and the wording a lot around it was something around the entertainment side of the business will come at a later date. So basically implying the same as with Spider-Man and stuff like that, they'll do those movie figures retrospectively as opposed to ahead. Which is a massive change in Marvel's, like Hasbro Marvel Legends kind of marketing plan, because they used to give us these figures ahead of the films. So if you kind of go back to even as the ones I think about are like the Infinity War Endgame figures and how they came out months and months before the movie, but then obviously there was a lot of inaccuracies, weren't there? And people would complain.
Do you know what I reckon's happening?
What?
So Deadpool comes out in the UK on Thursday the 25th. Comes out in America on Friday the 26th of July.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con starts on Thursday the 25th of July. The Marvel stream is on the Saturday. It's 2 days after the film comes out to cinemas. I reckon they've already planned this out, and I think we're going to see we're going to get Deadpool, Wolverine, and then there'll be a couple of other spoiler type characters that they can't reveal just yet. And that's why they've not bothered revealing Wolverine and Deadpool just yet. There's no way they've not made Deadpool. Deadpool is just going to be it's going to be a repacked Deadpool with new accessories because it's the same costume.
Yeah,
there's nothing different. So he's an easy win. Wolverine again is an easy win. They've already got the Hugh Jackman face. All they need is a new yellow and blue body, which we have seen several times in the first ever trailer. There's no way they have not been already producing that. They know that's going to sell. I think they're waiting because they need to they want to reveal the rest of the line with it, because I reckon this will be the first time we get like a Sony movie or whatever you want to call it with a full wave of figures. This will be the first one because there's going to be that many characters in this that people are going to want, and it'll be a way of them just filling out the roster very easily and selling it while the iron's hot, kind of thing.
I think San Diego Comic-Con is definitely a good shout for those reveals. And Hot Toys as well. I mean, they showed that. You know, you pointed out there about the trailer. There are enough details shared about that Wolverine costume that they can make it accurate. Like the Hot Toys one is pretty accurate, even to the extent where we've seen him with a cow now, and we've not seen that in any of the trailers or anything, but we've seen it on merchandise. And there's a deluxe version where you can get interchangeable arms, so you can have the sleeves or no sleeves, and you can have battle damage suit or not battle damage suit. So they've kind of covered all angles. So for the 6-inch scale not to be doing that already and having that in the pipework ready, no.
And I won't reveal what the spoilers were, but Funko, I mean, we talked about it offline. Funko released the leak of a Funko box from a warehouse, and it showed you on the back of the box the other characters in that Funko wave based on Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was variants of Deadpool that are going to be in the movie. So I mean, there's enough. Companies are aware of what's going on, or at least attempting to speculate. Yeah.
So I think San Diego Comic-Con is where we're going to see all that stuff.
I think Ryan Reynolds. I reckon Ryan Reynolds and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, will both be there at San Diego. Yeah, I reckon they'll both be there. There'll be a screening of it or something at San Diego. It's a big event in San Diego. There's no way that Marvel are not going to push the biggest movie of the year at that event.
No.
The fact that it comes out on the weekend of tells you everything.
I read somewhere, and don't quote me on these exact figures, but it said something like the estimated weekend take-ins for Deadpool and Wolverine is something like $250 billion.
Yeah.
And the overall worldwide take-ins for Shazam 2 and the Blue Beetle combined was less than that. Like, just to put it into perspective, so they're expecting to take more in a weekend for this one Marvel Sony film than they did like worldwide for the two most recent DC films. Not comparing DC and Marvel, but that was just how they put it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a big one. But anyway, they preempted that we weren't going to see any movie merchandise in that respect. So you know, going into the stream, I didn't really know what to expect. The only thing that I was expecting to see was the last figure from the 85th anniversary wave, because they said it was going to be 10. We'd seen 9 already. There was already a few leaks about what that 10th one was going to be. So I kind of expected to see that. So that one was a given. But everything else in that stream surprised me. I didn't predict any of them.
What was the 10th figure? Sorry, I didn't follow that.
The Odin figure.
Oh, the Odin. The Odin was nice. Massive
As well. Compared to that, I mean, the last time we got Odin was as a builder figure in 2014, 2015, I think it was. But yeah, this is a massive glow up. He's huge. He is huge.
Yeah, compared to the new Thor they've got there, he is a tank.
Yeah, he is a massive.
They have really gone all out with it. When they did that, by the way, that instantly said to me, because they posed him and went, "Look, he's got a cloth cape, so he can sit down in a throne." So I reckon there's a throne in the works to sit him in.
Yeah. You don't create a thing like this and preempt something like a. But then, you know, one of my biggest complaints with Marvel Legends in kind of yesteryear, especially ones with capes and stuff, was putting them into seated positions for action figure photography and stuff, like, was difficult. So the fact that they have kind of thought about this, even if it is only for fan service, is definitely progress in their way of thinking. But yeah, to show that in the stream, I think there's some kind of
There's got to be something, and then they throw, because then they couldn't, because then they've always had the throne in the comic book, so they could easily bash that together, and then you can sit whether you put Odin on it or whether you put King Thor on it or whether you put whoever on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a throne will sell.
It would just be a nice piece of kit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then they showed off the new sort of Venom that is just quite sort of like coming out along with the Carnage, and they showed them sort of side by side.
Yeah, see, this one kind of threw me a little bit, because I was kind of like, you know what? They've not, apart from the back piece with the multiple heads, they've not really changed anything about it.
No, so they sort of said in the stream, this is more of a re-releasing it so fans can get hold of it in preparation for the new movie. Carnage is getting released, so of course people are going to want Venom to go with Carnage, and Venom now does sell for quite a bit of money on the aftermarket. So I think it is more of a case of that they've kind of upgraded him a little bit. Apparently they've made the white webbing parts a little bit more translucent looking, and basically just re-released him for the movie, basically, more or less what they're saying, isn't it? I get it. I get why they do it.
It's a weird one, because like, there's the collector in me is kind of frustrated by these kind of things, because it's kind of like, you know what, you're making a quick buck for people that are obviously going to want to pick it up, but it takes away a lot of the element of collecting, I think, when something's repackaged so quickly, because it was only a couple of years ago that one came out.
Yeah.
And I know that it does sell for a lot on the aftermarket, but it's kind of like,
they don't, without sounding thing, they're a business, they're out to make money, they don't care.
No, exactly.
All they care about is getting the figures in people's hands and the money in their Hasbro's pocket. That is the end goal. Let's be honest with this. As much as we like to think these guys are making toys just for us and we're collectors and we're all in it together, they're out to make money. They're a business. And if they know a film's coming out, like Deadpool's going to get re-released to hell over the next few months, surely we're going to see loads of Deadpool.
Didn't they? They literally repackaged that Wolverine in a tank top and released that last month, or whatever it was.
But I think we'll get loads of comic book ones. I reckon there'll be a comic book wave announced at San Diego as well, just to cash in on the fact that Deadpool's popular.
Probably. I mean, we've had whole Deadpool waves before. The thing that frustrates me with it though, because obviously these figures are popular because collectors collect them, but then by re-releasing them, it makes the collector's collection less collectible, and therefore more people want them. Do you know what I mean? And it's this weird kind of cycle of like chicken and egg, you know. So it's cool. It's cool for new collectors and for people that weren't able to pick it up the first time round. So, but yeah.
No, I get it.
It's cool. It's cool. It's a cool figure. I've got my movie Venom. I like my movie Venom. Yeah, they've reused the body a few times on different Venom figures now, so I'm not surprised they're gonna milk it for one more.
The weirdest figure of the bunch that was announced today for me was this one.
Yep.
The Xavier obviously goes with the classic X-Men that we got, the blue and yellow.
Yeah, it's the Warlord costume, isn't it, from that Jim Lee run? But yeah, I mean, a lot of people go mad for this. Like, they're really excited for this one.
Really?
But yeah, because obviously it does round out. There we go. It rounds out that yellow and blue team look. It's an iconic comic book cover. Pretty much in that pose, to be fair. That's a very well put together photograph, because that's a very similar pose to the comic book cover.
They did mention who did they did mention on the stream who did the photography, because it wasn't the Marvel Legends team for once. They actually got a proper person in to do it.
Well, they have an in-house photographer now, don't they?
Yeah,
they actually have an in-house Hasbro photographer. But yeah, I mean, but for me, like, I've got my yellow and blue team up there. Like, I really like my yellow and blue team, but I didn't feel that I needed that Warlord version of Prof X. Like, I was quite content with just the yellow and blue team. But yeah, I mean, it's cool, giving us new figures and kind of rounding teams off. I mean, it's something they've definitely been criticized for in the past, where it's taken like years to complete teams and stuff. Like, we're even only completing certain teams now. They seem to be doing that a lot quicker. If they announce something within the kind of next 12 to 16 months, you've got that kind of team completed, which is cool. So yeah, for anyone that's interested in that version of Professor X, then yeah, happy days.
Then we got the sort of Rogue, and is that Lysandra she called? Is that what that is?
Can't remember. Yeah,
I'm not 100% who that is.
It's a weird. Again, this is quite a niche. Like, I'm not fussed about this 2-pack at all. This doesn't. I think back in the day when I was a completionist with Legends, I would have kind of been like, yeah, this is cool, this is good. We'll kind of get different versions of characters, but I'm not overly fussed.
Back when I was going for all the X-Men and trying to complete the X-Men run, I would have probably gone for that Rogue, because that's obviously the Brotherhood of Mutants Rogue. That's the evil Rogue. So I would have probably gone for that to stand with the rest of the Brotherhood of Mutants. But I'm not bothered now. Like, that's like I could leave that pack straight away. No.
I mean, for me, with my collection now, my Brotherhood is very much your iconic characters from the Brotherhood of Mutants. And even though Rogue was there in the early days, I'm not fussed about adding this to it, because she's on my good guy team.
Admittedly, this one caught my attention.
This was one of my favorites of the stream. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Really ironically, we had the Phoenix Gene years ago. People call it the Celine Dion head, because the head really does look like Celine Dion.
Do you know what I was thinking though? With that windswept hair and that face, you could put that on the MJ body and have her like swinging with Spider-Man, and it would look like the hair's going through the wind. You know what I mean? It would look good in photography with that one.
A million action figure photographers straight away kind of went, "Oh,
yeah,
that's good." This is the one that it didn't surprise me, because I look at my figures and I'm kind of like, right, what is going to be done next? Because we are definitely in the age of them revisiting older figures, and this one is definitely an older figure.
Guess what I thought straight away when I saw this figure?
What?
Look at that face sculpt.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in a little bit more on the Famke Jensen face sculpt there. Do you not think they're gonna give us a Sonyverse Famke Jensen X-Men 3 Gene?
That is her head, isn't it? Really?
Because it literally is. It's that head And if you've got the MCU Scarlet Witch body with the red cloak, that is basically the kit bash to get the MCU version of her. That is Famke Jensen's face. Come on, it looks like spitting image.
Now you've said it, I can't unsee it. You're actually really spot on there.
I would be very surprised if that didn't come out in a few weeks as a part of a Sony wave or something.
Yeah, but this
because
was...
they can get away without having to pay the likeness of Famke Jensen because her eyes are all messed up anyway, and she's doing the Phoenix pose, and that looks like her enough. You'd get away with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny because I've still got my one. Where is she? Yep, she's there. It's just an awful figure, that old one. The old version. Looking at it now compared to the new one, it's just a trash figure. But it's one that I've kind of held on to. It's similar to what I was saying earlier about collectors. I was kind of like, well, it's the Phoenix version. I've got to kind of keep it. But this just updates it and upgrades it. And this Phoenix fire stand piece backdrop is just stunning. So
the bird as well has got an articulated head, so you can make him look straight on or to the side. That head is articulated, which is kind of cool.
Very cool.
It does attach to the fire piece, or you can have it like that, or there's different ways of posing this time around.
That in itself is like it's like an articulated statue, and that's what I think. Going back to the old Toy Biz days when they used to give us diorama pieces and all the rest of it, this is kind of back to there.
The one thing I didn't like though was the fact that how long it took him to put that together. It did look a bit fiddly. They were like, you have to push this in here and circle this around here and do this and do that. And it kind of did feel like a bit like it is taking him 10 minutes to put that together.
Yeah. It was.
But it does look good when it's done though. It does look good. And
it's just you get a decent LED underneath that. It is going to look stunning. It is going to look absolutely stunning. That was my standout move. That was my standout figure of the stream.
Well, here's where we go into the territory where SuperSorrell kind of lost his mind a little bit, and I was surprised when we went before we kind of went live. You sort of were like, "Meh, it was all right." So I was like, came on and I was gushing that it's the first Marvel Legends wave I'm probably going to buy in a long time, and you were instantly like, "Meh," about it. So I was like, "Ooh."
Only because of one thing, and we've briefly touched on it, and I'll get to it when we get to it. But there was one part that just kind of let it down for me. But yes, Strange Tales.
So the finally given us the Marvel Legends Strange Tales is what they're calling it, which is homage to the comic books. Obviously, these were all characters that came from comic books known as basically Tales of the Strange, or the Mind of Horror, and all these weird 1970s names. But a lot of these comics introduced characters like Groot. They introduced characters like Thor originally. Yep. Thor was in originally was in Vault of something. They were really old comics. They were introduced that way.
But I think that this title has so much opportunity under it.
It does. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is the last we'll see of this. I don't think this is a one and done.
No.
But I was surprised by the amount of negativity in the chat on this one about Hasbro Pulse's live stream.
Oh, I didn't see.
A lot of people were like, skip. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
These are characters I've been crying out for years.
But it is niche. That's the thing, is that it's gonna. I hope that it does better for them than they were expecting, so that it continues. But it is quite a niche wave, really, isn't it? But you can't win with some Legends fans because they'll say, "Oh, it's a repack," or "Oh, it's a, another Iron Man, another Wolverine, or whatever." But then you get stuff like this, and they go, "Oh no, skip that!" It's.
You can't win.
No, you can't win. You know what? For the most part, this is a very strong wave. Very strong wave.
So, first figure they threw up was Dr. Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo.
Dr. Voodoo. He's got the Eye of Agamotto on his collar there.
Has he?
Doctor, yeah. I'll show you this. I'll show you in a second. So this is Brother Voodoo. It can be both Brother Voodoo and Dr. Voodoo. So you can see on these cape there, he's got the Eye of Agamotto attached.
Yeah.
That does pull off. You can remove that, so he can be Brother Voodoo or Dr. Voodoo. There you go.
Oh, okay. I missed that completely.
Mm-hmm. So it is a re-release because obviously this is a case of this figure has been around a long time. It was released in two separate in the box set, wasn't it, originally, and then a wave later on. So this is a character we've had, but that face sculpt is pretty decent. That was the one that came in the box set.
It is a much better head sculpt. Yeah, it's an update from the box set one.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, and they've included the skulls on the side now as well, which are nice.
Yeah.
And just it's a nice updated version of the character.
Yeah, I think that's the best way of saying it, because it was a figure that was dated. It was a great character, but it was dated. The standout parts for me on this, the removable eye to start with, I completely missed that.
Mm-hmm.
But the cape in itself is a really nice sculpt, and I think that we can't discredit the fact that we are now getting a whole variety of capes. Whereas back in the day, you had like 2 or 3, and it was like you had this trench coat or this cape. That was it. Like if it's a character with a cape, it's sweeping to the left. Whereas now, like one of my biggest problems with my Brother Voodoo figure when I had it was displaying it, because the cape was such a hindrance. Whereas this looks really cool. The skulls on the belt are lovely. They are really well sculpted. Yeah. And the head sculpt is beautiful. It's
a nice figure, but for me, this was the weaker of in the wave for me.
I just wish they'd given us a new staff, because that looks like it is a reuse. Yeah, that is the same stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. But then SuperSorrell got a little bit overexcited.
Yeah, Dracula.
Yeah. Finally, how many years have I been saying a modern Dracula plays? We finally got one. So this is based on the version, the Marvel's version of Dracula, the death of Dracula, how Dracula appeared in the X-Men comics, and more recently in the Vampire Nation from the Avengers run. Mm-hmm. This is how he's appeared for a little while now in the red armor, but it's a great looking figure, to be honest. And there he is fighting Blade. Yeah, that to me was just an instant win.
Giving us an updated Blade figure, they had to give us a Dracula. Like you needed someone for Blade to fight. Like this is what I didn't understand, and I was watching the stream with some audio and with some without some. Yeah. I didn't catch everything. But what's the deal with the cape? Because in some of the pictures it looked windswept, and in some it was down. Is it just that they flipped it around, or?
I think they were just playing around with it. But yeah, it's a new cape from what they're designing. It is slightly translucent apparently, but I couldn't see that on the live stream. It said it is slightly translucent.
It's a very cool, and what's nice as well is they've given us Dracula now without giving us classic Dracula. You know, it's a cool Dracula. Like, let's be honest, that's
the idea being a classic Dracula would have been very niche. There's only people like me and other horror collectors that will probably go for it. But this version, you can put him with your X-Men, you can put him with your Blade figures, you can put him with your Avengers. He goes in multiple sets like this in this version. So I'm just hoping this is the start of building up something, because we've got Man-Thing, we've got Dracula. I'm hoping we see some of the other modernized vampire characters from the Avengers comics, because the Vampire Nation was a great book.
You know, one figure that I was really surprised wasn't in this wave before we move on to the others was Elsa Bloodstone.
Oh, Elsa Bloodstone, yeah. I think Elsa Bloodstone's going to be coming with Man-Thing, and they'll do an MCU version of her just first, I reckon. But yeah, an updated version of Elsa Bloodstone for comic books would be good. This is the line she would fit in.
Yeah, I just thought she was a perfect figure for this wave, and I was shocked not to see her.
Yeah, from the way the position this wave as well was, this is their Halloween inspired wave. So I'm guessing we're going to see this around October time. And if that's a thing, I mean, if they gave us a wave of this every October, ready for Halloween, I'd be game. Like a line of 6 or 7 horror or darker inspired Marvel characters for Halloween. Well, that's a way of doing it. It's a way of doing it without doing the cheesy, like what Star Wars did. You know what I mean? It's like doing it without being cheesy.
Well, I was going to say that Hasbro do the seasonal themed things with Star Wars. So Marvel Legends is probably the only property that they have where they could do a Halloween wave without doing something cheesy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm up for that.
But yes, there's your Dracula, and that was a nice announcement for me. This one was quite cool as well. So you get what did they call him?
Weapon of Vengeance.
The Weapon of Vengeance. Yeah,
It's a really
Helverine is what they called him.
Yeah.
Helverine.
It's a really recent character, comic book character, like very recent. My only disappointment with this is they put him on like an old pinned body.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the gloves and the mask are superb.
But I suppose as well, this has got use for people like us that can customize and kit bash, and you're going to take off those, the flame pieces, change the head, and you could have the orange and black Wolverine, quite easily with on an updated body, because that figure is old now.
Yeah,
the orange and black, so there's a way of doing that as well. But no, this was a very cool figure, and I like that face sculpt. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah. I debated whether I was going to get it to put it in with my Ghost Rider collection, but I kind of opted against it because I was like, you know what, it's not Ghost Rider. So yeah, but it is cool. It's a very cool figure. Very cool figure. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. So far for me, I think Dracula's a definite. I'm definitely buying Dracula either way.
Yeah.
The rest of the thing, I may get the wave. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but I could be tempted to get this wave. Especially with this Storm being included as well. This is like your Brood Storm, as they kind of call it in the comic books. It's your Blood Storm, the Vampire Storm.
It's your Lost Boys Storm.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Again, this is a bit of a niche one because not everyone is going to want like a vampire-esque Storm in their collection.
She's actually been one character that people have asked for a while. She has been a character that people have wanted because they've not done her since the. Yeah, she's not been done since Toy Biz. Toy Biz were the last people to do this version of it, and they also did Jubilee at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So there is room for, if they do a second wave in a year's time or whatever, they could put the Jubilee version, like the Vampire Jubilee, in there as well.
One thing I did think is that body, if you get the Mohawk, you've got your Punk Storm, haven't you?
That's what I like about this wave, though. There is a lot of uses for it.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, that's a dated figure now. Like, okay, this one is still pinned, but you can see it's a more modern figure.
Oh, yeah.
So they might give us a more modern version of that. Who knows?
Yeah, that was a nice addition to see that Storm. Then one of the figures that I'm definitely getting, which again, when we're talking about it, you were a bit unhappy with this one.
This really disappointed me. Really disappointed me.
Wow.
Only because it's a fantastic figure, but the Engine of Vengeance HasLab. We saw Goblin Queen, we saw Damien, we saw Mephisto, and they really hammered home when it looked like it wasn't going to fund. They really hammered home that these were figures that they can't do normally, that they can only do with the Engine of Vengeance. And so they've tried to get them in so that fans can have them and all the rest of it. The HasLab failed, and now they've given us Goblin Queen because of X-Men 97. They've given us Damien because of this Strange Tales wave. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit. I was all behind the Engine of Vengeance. I was one of the few, I think I was one of the 7 people worldwide that was behind it. But yeah, it just kind of I just felt a little bit like, oh, you've done it anyway. Like, and I'm pleased they've done it. Don't get me wrong; it's a cool character to have. But yeah, I was surprised to see it so quickly.
Yeah, if you remember a little while back, I was trying to kit bash this guy for years. I've been trying to get a Damien in my collection for so long, and all I can say is now they've made this guy. If we do get a wave 2 of this wave, Satana's got to be coming now.
Oh,
Satana has to be getting an upgrade. They did do her a long time ago, but that is a old figure now, and she's so hard to get hold of.
Yeah, you can't do Damien without the adjacent characters.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people were obviously calling out as well, saying Mephisto better be the Bath figure, but I think that was too easy for them to give us Mephisto straight away. I think they will give us Mephisto in like a wave 2 or 3, but I do see this having legs to be a multiple wave.
Seeing Damien basically tells you it's coming.
Yeah, basically.
Like, Mephisto is coming. There's no 2 ways about it. Like, because there he is. Like, he's there. So
Son of Satan.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they reveal Lilith.
Yeah, she's
Queen
cool.
of Demons. I think she goes by. Yeah, bit of a, that is a bit of a deep cut, to be honest. That is a deep cut figure. But yeah, just very cool. Something different. There's always the ones in the wave that you have to go met at. There's always the
the head sculpt's cool. I like the head sculpt, and I like the translucent kind of hair piece on her. I think it's a nice figure, and I'm happy for everyone that wants it in their collection. Yeah.
Moon Knight.
See, this one annoyed me as well.
Why?
Just because it's another Moon Knight.
The idea of this Moon Knight was that it finishes off your West Coast Avengers in this costume.
Yeah, but why didn't they just give us this costume originally? They re-released the white costume. Why didn't they just give us this one?
Because they're milking you for all it's worth. Have you not realised how this team works yet? Milking for a long time.
I think I'm figuring it out. You know what, though? This, to me, I like it. It's a nice looking figure, but I really like the version of him where it's all white. It's just all... and that's the one I've got on my collection. I just think it's... there's something very... clean about Moon Knight just being all white.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Again, I think with this particular line, they would need to put characters in here like the Wolverine, like the Moon Knight, sell the wave.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be a wave of deep cuts, and not a lot of people would want it. Having the Moon Knight in there gives it a bit more of a sale value, I think. And
having the Ankh prop accessory is a nice touch.
Yeah,
it's a nice figure. It's a nice figure. I can't deny that. And like you say, there's the West Coast. It rounds them off, doesn't it? Yeah. So you've got your 4-pack there, your Sky Cycle Hawkeye, and of course the new Moon Knight. But yeah, it's a cool wave. And
then of course the Bath figure in this one is going to be Blackheart.
Yes.
Which again we've not had since, was that a Toy Biz figure back in the day as well?
It was a Toy Biz figure.
Yeah, so it's been a long time for him as well.
I've actually got the head somewhere. Yeah, randomly.
And he's quite a big boy. He's quite a big chunky boy.
Yeah,
he's quite tall.
It's a nice builder figure. There's no two ways about it. It is a nice builder figure. It kind of falls into that. I like builder figures that are really big. And it kind of falls into that where it's not quite big, but it's not small. Got to point out though, that wasn't a new Iron Man that they put out next to him, was it?
I don't think so. He just had that on his desk apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that, whether that was... I'm not into the Marvel Legends like I used to be, so I don't know whether that was a cheeky reveal there or what. I don't know what that was, but he just said he had it on his desk and he brought it for scale. But they don't do anything just on a whim, them guys. So I'm not sure what that was a hint at.
One thing that I really like from this wave though is the new packaging.
Yeah, it looks nice.
They've really gone down the Star Wars route of kind of the side box art, where you can display the box art. But yeah, there's just something very nice about this new packaging. It's nice and it's very aesthetically pleasing.
And there's like I've been saying, there's no way they've gone to this length to create that name of Marvel Stranger Tales without this being like a thing now. Yeah. I think we might. I'm hoping we get some extra editions. Even if they don't do Wave 2, they could still give you like a Target exclusive character, a Walmart exclusive character, and things like that. Yeah, and just fill them out a little bit more, because you got to, like say, Mephisto and Satana would fit into this wave so easily. Some different variants, Elsa Bloodstone variants of what do you call it? Morbius. Variants from Blade, Werewolf by Night. Yeah, there's so many characters that could shove in this wave, this kind of a wave. And also, what a lot of people are forgetting are there's a lot more characters from the Dracula comics and stuff like that they can throw in, like the Frankenstein's monster one that hasn't had a release since Toy Biz as well. I still use that figure to this day. It's still good.
Well, they had a whole box set, didn't they, of the monsters?
Yeah, that's the one I got years ago.
All of those could fit into it. And then, of
Marvel
course,
Zombie as well.
Yeah, but there's also all the main staple characters that have had kind of Strange Tale story arcs.
Yeah.
You know, there's kind of I think one that I would like to see in this, then it'd probably be a builder figure. And for a split second, I thought it might have been the builder figure for this wave. Is the man spider of Spider-Man?
Yeah, that would fit in this wave.
But that would be a cool way of getting that figure, because obviously it was from the animated series. It became like a real, fan favorite kind of character. It would be a way of putting it into this wave as a builder figure. But yeah, I did think for a second that might have been the builder figure, but hopeful thinking.
I was wondering whether they might go down like a 2-pack route and do like hero versus villain. So like Blade and Dracula combined in a 2-pack. Characters like that, like your Doctor Strange and Brother Voodoo together. Things like that would be a cool way of releasing them as well.
Yeah, but it's we're not going to be the only ones saying it.
No.
Mephisto is without a doubt the builder figure for Wave 2.
He's got to be.
Or a deluxe.
Yeah, and then at the end of the stream, as always, they said San Diego's down the road, more stuff to come. But here's the little tease.
Do you know what it was?
Time. No idea.
Kang.
Was that Kang?
Kang, yes. It's a comic book cover. Hold up 2 secs. I'll get it out for you.
I would have thought that ever since MCU canned Kang, I'd have thought all plans for anything Kang related for a while would be sidelined.
No, I know. Yeah. There you go.
All right, okay.
That is the exact same gun. That
it is.
It's Kang's big gun. Kang's big gun, essentially. I don't know if it had a name or something, but he had it for quite a long time through the comic books. But I wonder whether
sorry, go on.
Because the Kang that they gave us recently was so comic book accurate, I think it will be a repack of that Kang with this gun, with potentially his chair as well.
That'd be cool. My only thought on that, because I didn't know what to make of that, but my only thing that I could think of was Cable from the MCU, because he had that gun where he cranked the side of it to change the different settings on it.
Yeah.
That was all I could think of. But yeah, it does look like it's definitely the Kang one now you said it.
Yeah, it's the barrel and the trigger. It's and the circular piece. It's definitely. I don't actually know what happened to his gun, but for a while in the comic books, he had this big gun, and then he just became Kang. But yeah, and that pulse at the end of it is quite Kang-esque, isn't it, as well? So
yeah. And they basically just said at the end of the stream, San Diego Comic Con is around the corner, to stay tuned for that. Then there'll be a Hasbro announcement. Announcements at San Diego on the Saturday. Yeah.
What I was really surprised though is that they didn't, in the previous one, they teased the Rock, didn't they? The Rock kind of accessory, and there was nothing alluding to that at all.
Nope.
People have called it as the Sentinel from the arcade game. It's a very similar rock than what they're carrying. If you actually have a look at it, it's pretty much. Let me see if I can get a picture of it.
They didn't really reveal what Dwight was tweeting about, did they either?
What, the skulls?
The skulls.
I know. I think it was in aid of this wave.
Do you think that?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be like an accessory piece for one of the characters or something.
No, I think. Hang on, let me just see.
You think that was just a thing for this wave's coming and it's a dark wave or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell you why in a sec. I'm just seeing if I can find a quick picture of that. Okay, game. I can't find it. But yeah, if you look up the X-Men arcade game, have a look at Sentinels in that. Oh, here we go. Found it. That.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Pretty much, and that's basically your 6-7 inch Sentinel from the arcade game. I think that's what it is. No, the reason why I think it was Dwight alluding to this, because those skulls he used heavily in the Hellcharger promotion. So when they were promoting the Hell Charger, he was taking photos of the vehicle on top of all these skulls. He used them kind of like in a lot of the promotion. And when I saw them, that was the first thing I thought, but I didn't kind of put it out there anyway because the Hell Charger is a sensitive subject for a lot of people. And then the fact that you've got Damien, that was essentially one of the tiers from that, it kind of brings it all back, doesn't it? And brings it all in. But what I find really ironic is that, you know, the Ramen Racer from Ramen Toys got a shipping notice today that mine's on its way.
Oh, nice.
Today, on the day that Hasbro revealed that Damien, which was the second here, is now available to pre-order. So I'm like, happy days. Let's just build this team on my own. So yeah. But yeah, that's what I thought those skulls were myself.
Okay.
That's how I read them. But no, I don't know. Talking through it with you, it is a good wave. It is a good wave. I'm always up for something different.
It was the first time in a long time that I saw a Hasbro product that made me actually a bit excited to maybe get some Marvel on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm probably not going to get every single one because I'm not too bothered for Blackheart, but I think Dracula, Storm, those kind of characters are definitely going to be up there for me.
Yeah. There was one duo or two characters that I thought would potentially fit into this wave. There are two characters that are in my collection that I haven't replaced yet because they haven't updated them for 5-6 years, whatever. But I think would fit into a wave 2, and that'd be Cloak and Dagger.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they're two that I just cannot part with. I know there's a new one coming. There will be a new one coming at some point, but I cannot part with them because I absolutely love Cloak and Dagger. But I think that they would fit really nicely into a Strange Tales branding.
Yeah, just googling the characters that I couldn't remember a second ago. The ones that I'd like to think would fit in this line again would be like your Hannibal King, Baron Blood, Spitfire, Zarus, Victor Strange. There's quite a lot of characters that could do.
Yeah.
There's even more modern ones like Bloodstorm. That'd be a cool one to do. And Rachel Van Helsing as well from the comics. There's Celine. Yeah. There's so many. Yeah. Looking at this list now, there is so many vampire or darker, evil characters. That's just from the Dracula comics.
Yeah,
they're just from the Tales of Horror sort of books. That doesn't even touch on, if I was to Google Satana and then look at the list of characters she's then associated with. There's hundreds of other ones you could do. Like obviously we're getting Damien, but Jennifer Cale, Marduk as well. There's a lot of different characters that would fit into this wave so easily.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I hope that it is. I'm all up for something different. I really am. I'm all up for something different. And I was getting a little bit Marvel fatigue from the Legends teams, only because it was teams that I wasn't overly interested in. I'm quite niche with my collection now, and I was kind of like, I just kind of want to see something a little bit different. And it definitely piqued my interest. Definitely piqued my interest.
Do you know what I think would be a cool one for them to build up as well, especially with them just releasing the re-release of Dum Dum Dugan in the blue? Go on. The Howling Commandos.
That's a Strange Tales, isn't it?
That is a Stranger Tales.
Yeah.
They've had a modern run recently that was very popular. So I mean, and that includes obviously it's not Werewolf by Night, but it's the other. I forgot his name. It's the other werewolf character, isn't it? I think his name. But he's on that team as well, and again, they would all fit in that wave so easily.
Oh, you know what would be a really good one as well, talking about werewolves, is to give us a new Catwolf.
Yeah, the Catwolf, a re-release of the Catwolf, because that was a long time ago now. And we only got it was only the head, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. They could go all out and give us the fur coming through the blue and stuff like that.
There was a whole wave of like a whole story arc, and it had Wolverine in it and everything, and he was like a more feral version of Wolverine. That was all werewolves and stuff, and obviously Captain America, that's where the Catwolf story arc came from. But yeah, we only ever got a head that was a swap out for the body, so to get an actual Catwolf character, that would be very cool. I think I'd add that to my collection.
Because don't forget as well, one of the main ones as well, because when Marvel was making Stranger Things back in the day, the Stranger Tales stuff, obviously we had Man Thing, but they wanted to. They needed like a gill man, you know, a creature from the Black Lagoon, and they couldn't make it without calling it Creature of the Black Lagoon. So they made the guy on the right, Amphibian.
Yes.
So he's a matter of time before he would get a re-release. And this is the modernized version of Howling Commandos with Man Thing and Dum Dugan, and then as well you've got it's not Elsa Bloodstone, but it's one of her relatives. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But basically, there's so many different versions of that team, but they could very easily modernize it and bring those into that line.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. That would be very cool. Oh, exciting! Exciting times ahead.
It is. And I think the cat werewolf is a good shout. I forgot about that one. That cat werewolf would sell.
Cat wolf would be a seller. I think I've still got the head somewhere. I think it wasn't even that great either. It was that looked like a dog. But yeah, to give us a proper cat wolf.
Yeah, because he's just had a rerun in the comics as well, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, Cat Wolf and the Howling Commandos was a recent comic book. Here we go. I've got a cover for you. Let me show you this cover. It's really cool. Yeah, this was a recent comic book series because I saw it in my comic book store the other day.
Oh,
Cat Wolf and the Howling Commandos. So yeah, I mean,
look at that. That's a Stranger Tale. A Strange Tales.
Yeah.
Figure just waiting to happen. But also Werewolf by Night as well, like to do the more modern version of the story as well. Like there's so many cool kind of werewolf, the Taboo run of Werewolf by Night. There were so many kind of cool werewolfy kind of characters in there. There's the potential is there.
Well, that the Moon Knight they've just released in that wave, is the Moon Knight that fought the Werewolf by Night in the comic books, because Werewolf by Night, after being in the Stranger sort of comic book line, where I forgot the name of the one he was actually from, he then went on to battle Moon Knight quite a lot in the comics, and that white Moon Knight that we've just got basically is what the Moon Knight is what Werewolf comes up against. So
there you go.
I would love to see that version
of Marvel Legends.
Yeah, I would love to see that Werewolf by Night come back. The classic, shirtless with the green bottoms. Because I've still got that one from Toy Biz. As much as I want an MCU version, I think I would want that one more first.
Yeah, 100%. I just think it's exciting to see them like test the waters with this stuff, because there are, I say there are only so many, but there are only so many Spider-Man, Wolverines, Iron Man's, like all those kind of figures that you can get multiple times. So to explore the other avenues of Marvel Comics is actually really exciting.
Yeah, really definitely 100%.
And it's all like the Howard the Duck stuff as well. Like, there's so many weird and wonderful characters out there. There really is.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%.
It could even give us a Santa Claus in that.
Give us Santa Claus with the gauntlet. I'm surprised they've never made that.
Give us an obscure line like Santa Claus with a gauntlet, the Hitler figure that Captain America punches. Do you know what I mean? Like, give us all those really obscure characters from Marvel.
I honestly don't. I honestly don't think Hasbro's ever going to release Hitler.
No, I don't think they're going to do that, are they?
However, German general.
Yeah,
might get
yeah. Angry man with a moustache. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
evil Charlie Chaplin.
But there are so many weird and wonderful corners of the Marvel comic book universe. This is a really good sign. This is a really good sign that we are kind of entering that territory, and I really hope that this is the start of something and not just a dip in the water.
Well, yeah, it used to always make me laugh when they used to say, like when they said to you, like, they'd love to do more of the darker Marvel things, but they're not allowed to, or they can't. And I've never understood why. It's silly. Why are you not allowed to?
In interviews with them, with Dan and Ryan, when I've talked about, especially, I think it was the one with Dan just after Werewolf by Night came out, and I was mentioning a lot of these darker characters and stuff, and they were, not saying that they couldn't, but just sort of saying that there were hurdles to get through. But they've just put out a figure with a guy with an upside down devil's satanic mark on his chest. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, come on, like that surely that's you can't get much worse than that, apart from a Hitler. Like, let's be honest. But if they put Hitler and Santa Claus in the 2-pack, kind of balances it out, doesn't it? Good and evil.
If NECA can release a Michael Myers figure that has the bloodied mask of a murdered child, right, then Hasbro can release a Satana figure from a comic book. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I've never understood why there's any issue.
Or
it's an action figure based upon a
Goblin Queen in a comic book accurate suit. Like,
they're based on media that have been around a very long time. It's not like they're trying to do it for a quick buck. It's based on something that's from a comic series that is beloved. So I mean,
it's not like it's even something that came out 40 years ago, 50 years ago that nowadays is really taboo or really wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, you know, there's nothing's changed. Like, they're just characters that have been out for a long time.
They even put Goblin Queen in an accurate costume in a kid's cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
It's not like they gave us the covered up version that Hasbro tried to give us. They gave us the proper corset wearing Goblin Queen.
Yeah, but then to give us an action figure of her, we got to cover her up.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, mental. Anyway, this is a Geek Week Plus, and we've been talking for well over an hour. So let's call it there. Loads of people in the chat. Sorry we didn't get to you. We were just so busy getting through it. Just a couple of quick shout outs. Ezra Gantos, Toddwell, Shauna Sheep, Luna Spring. Love that name. Andy Roberts, Lily Hunter X, John Hood, Mitchell the Go A Mater. So I think I got that wrong. Joby One started with Click Shelley. There are others as well there. Thank you very much for tuning in, commenting. So far, as from what I can tell, most people are kind of happy about this wave. That there's pros and cons. But let's just, I think, if anything, we're going to take away from it. Let's hope it's the start of something.
And if anything, you can be rest assured that SuperSorrell's happy that he finally got his Dracula. Yes!
Finally got his Dracula. I cannot wait to see the in-hand review and the shorts that you're going to create with that one. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in and watching along. Do join us on Sunday. We are sticking with the Halloween-y scary theme. We are joined by the gentleman over at the One Good Scare podcast, and we are talking all things Summerween. So, want to know what that's all about? Tune in. But it's it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good show. It's always fun when we got them gents on. We will be back here on Sunday at the regular time. I think that's about it. Cool day for reveals.
It was.
Yeah. Anyway, like Saul said at the beginning, make sure you do all the likey shares and all that kind of stuff. We do appreciate it. If you're watching us on repeat, make sure that you put in the
hashtag catch up crew.
Hashtag catch up crew. Until then, keep it geek.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Tune in next week for another live show. Until then, keep it geek. www.geekweekinreview.co.uk